I got into my office on time, sat down, scratched my head, and then the director who was assigned to me that day, a guy that I had worked with many, many times, and been working on this show for decades. No, yeah, maybe decades. He'd been working on this one show. He came in, and I looked at him and I said, "Did I just win an Emmy?" And he stopped what he was doing and he looked dead at me. And he closed the door. Hello and welcome to my daily walk. Sorry for that cliffhanger there, but hello and welcome to my daily walk. Let's start this over. The show where a Hollywood guy, that's me, walks around and talks about anything and everything except the things I'm contractually bound to conceal. And, let's just see how many things I can tell you without disclosing too much. That's the objective, that's the challenge. It's a testing myself, experimenting and learning a lot of things in the process. That's what my daily walk is. If you want to contribute, if you want to comment, if you have an observation or most importantly, a fact check correction. In fact, I invite those. If you hear something that I say and you're not sure if it's true or even just your opinion, if you don't fact check it, but I'd rather it be fact check. If somebody's going to challenge anything I say, please fact check it, and I want to be corrected. I invite correction because I know I'm right about a whole bunch of things and I'm wrong about a whole bunch of things, and I want that ratio to change. I want to be right about more things, many more things than I'm wrong about. In fact, I want the number of wrong things that I believe to diminish and eventually go away completely. I want it to be zero on that side, but that would require eternity, of course, but if we can keep that ratio going in the right direction, that's worthwhile. If you want to contribute, you want to comment, email me at MyDailyWalk at thiswaytv.com. MyDailyWalk at thiswaytv.com. Life lessons is one of the series that I'm doing, and the previous life lesson stories that I've talked about are from far in my past. Well, I have to think through them all, but I think most of them are quite a while ago. But this life lesson, I guess there's a lesson in it, something I want to learn. If I talk about it and come across something that I learn, then good. A life lesson that happened less than 2 years ago. Yeah, wow. It was less than 2 years ago. Let's see how far into my daily walk we are. Okay, good. I have a lot that I want to say about this, so I'll get straight to the topic. All right, and I'll start this time instead of waiting till the end to satisfy the curiosity of what that guy said when he closed the door. I'll get right to it. So I was working at this show, and there had been a change of guard. This show had been on the air a long time. So it's a successful show, popular show, newsy show, not entertainment news show. Very good reputation. I like the show. People seem to like it. And I was just grateful to be able to work there for a while. And there was a change of guard, so the executive producers kind of would rotate through. It's like the ratings are going down. Maybe it's the executive producer's fault. Let's swap them out for somebody else. Ratings are still going down. Maybe it's the executive producer's fault. Let's swap them out for somebody else. It's like looking for an executive producer that can turn around a trend that is inevitable, like the decline in ratings in that type of entertainment. It's nothing. You can't blame it on an executive producer. Anyway, that's a tangent. But that's just the nature of the beast. They just grind through leaders because they don't understand what's going on, I guess. I don't know if I understand what's going on, but there's a trend away from that type of media. So they're panic-stricken about figuring out how to keep paying themselves a lot of money. I mean, that's the job. Pay yourself as much as you can. But sometimes things change that are out of your control and there's nothing you can do about it. So I was basically left off a list. The new producer, I mean, this is my speculation. This is my intuition. I haven't verified it, asked anybody point blank this, but this is what makes sense to me. It's my prediction of what happened without, my surmising, without my actual knowledge firsthand. And so it may not be the right story, but I think this is what happened. The episode that they submit for Emmys, it's for the daytime Emmy, the episode that they submit, everybody who had anything to do with that episode is supposed to go on a list that goes to the awards ceremony, like the inner workings of that organization, people who choose, and every person there gets one. You can order it online. I mean, you are eligible. That you have to pay for your own, but it is worth every penny. It's just so I can own one of those that actually belongs to me with my name on it. Okay, so, but I didn't ever care about that stuff. Didn't ever care at all. It was like, all right, whatever. I'm just doing a job. I'm just enjoying my job, and if you think I do it well, great. I'm grateful that I get paid, or was getting paid to do it. And so my name was left off because there were certain crew types that somebody just didn't see that was supposed to be included. It was like a clerical error, some new person in the new administration coming in. The changing of the guard, all these staffers come along with this new person, and people get fired and things fall through the cracks. That's what it seems like happened. My name was not included. Yes, my work had been awarded, but I hadn't been credited. No, that's fine. I didn't care. Literally, I didn't care. I didn't even realize, like, I just heard something that indicated, like, oh, the awards were just given. I knew we submitted something. Oh, I think I worked on that. And that's the thought process I had. I remembered that I worked on that episode. And so the guy closes the door. This producer, director, he's a director / producer that I work with. He tells me, oh, you don't even know what's going on behind the scenes. That's just a huge uproar because there are people that have been working here 20 years. 20 years. I'd been there 5 years. Yeah, 5 years. But people that worked there more than 20 years, that their names were left off. And then, like, interns that were just hired literally 3 months ago were getting an Emmy. Like, just hired and getting an Emmy. And then, oh, man. So, there was a hubbub behind the scenes. And, they let us come and take pictures, group pictures with one. Like, the producer would, people who won the award would bring it onto the set, and you just go take a picture with it. Cool. So then my very close friend of mine that worked there, I mean, we met at work, and this person was just an amazing, artist or friend, cool person. You meet cool people at work, and this is one, just our conversations would go on, and we'd barely get work done sometimes when we work together, but we always get it done. They'd like our work, and then we'd chat, get to, hang out. And she was one of those people that worked there 20 years that didn't get hers. And so fast forward to 2 years ago. Yeah. So 2 years ago, I didn't get the award for the show I worked on. That was 2 years ago, or 2.5 years ago, something like that. And then there are other changes that happen at work, and one of them affects my role, the thing that I did there. And I knew I was not high enough in the tenure to be included in that cut. I knew I was getting cut from the budget, and I was like, gotta go find another company to work for, or go work on something else that I want to work on and try and develop something, which is something I am developing. I get 6 months in, literally I quit the job. They kept calling me, but it wasn't enough work. It was like, just going there is not going to get the bills paid. If I'm going to do this other thing, I got to go all in on it and commit to it. So 6 months later, I just go visit work. I went to visit because I hadn't been there in 6 months. I just literally went to visit and just happened to go like the day after, or a couple days after the next Emmys. It was a year after my work had been awarded. And then one of the guys I ran into at work says, "Hey, did you get yours?" I go, "What?" He goes, "Your name was on there." I'm like, "What?" So I had quit working, and then I ended up getting one 6 months after I quit. And I was like, whoa. They weren't going to let me get away without making sure they made it right with me. And I know that, that's as awesome as it sounds. It's like, oh my gosh, cool. It's a better story now. I'm glad I didn't win that first one. This is a way better story than just saying, oh yeah, I won one. It was like, whoa. But I never, the crazy thing is, if you're not in it for the awards, like if you're not doing this thing to try and be recognized, you're just trying to survive and do something you enjoy doing, and you get a award for it, it's like, whoa, that was a new sensation. It was a sense that I'd never experienced. Well, I'd kind of experienced it. I'd won when you get recognized for anything. Like I published a poem in the newspaper when I was 13. It's like, whoa, okay. And then other like teachers or other people that are influential in your life would commend you or give you a certificate. You'd be awarded for good behavior, anything. Getting recognized for doing good work, good living. It's a sense of validation, and we all need it. And I think we all get it to some degree when people encourage you and people say positive things to one another. That is the same thing. You're awarding people. You are giving them something. You are improving their lives. Whether it's an idol that's fashioned from gold that sits on a mantle in an honorable position in your home, or it's a string of words that convey genuine goodwill, positive encouragement, commendation, accolades, praise, recognition, belonging, approval, all these, say good things to other people, be proactive and award them. I kind of like the direction this is going. Let me see how much time I have left if I can tell you any more of this story. Okay, yeah, so I'm only halfway through. So, sense of validation. I thought it through, and I knew that's what the title was going to be, and I realized it's a series because this may be the first one. Did I do a sense of something? I've been coming up with topic uh, episodic topics for episodes. I'm making a list of topics that I want to get to, and so this one, I thought it through, and yeah, there's a series, just like life lessons are a series where I tell stories about my, childhood or any time in my life, just true life stories, things I've been through. That's a series, but then sense of, as I was coming up with ideas, it's like, we are sensory beings, and what kind of senses do we have? And we do talk about 5 senses, but just because somebody puts a number and breaks it into categories isn't even necessarily claiming to offer a full explanation. Just like we do have 5 senses, and we have many more. So we tend to only think in that realm, sight, sound, touch, taste, smell. But there's all these other sensations we have that aren't in that list of 5. There's sense of well-being, sense of gratitude, sense of hunger, sense of angst, sense of, there's all these senses that we experience. Sense of, and so I have a series of them. And this is sense of validation. Like, that is a sensation once you get that kind of award, and you weren't expecting it, you weren't even hoping for it. It's like, it was never even an objective of yours. You didn't go into this thing trying to, I'm going to be, everybody imagines their Oscar speech, right? It's kind of like reflexive. We all think, oh, well, if I were in that position, what would I say? Well, maybe not. Maybe it's, I shouldn't say everybody has an Oscar speech. I should say, if you have an inclination to go into this line of work, that could be an outcome. That could be a possible outcome. And so sometimes you do want to think about it and not set your hopes on it. It's like, I won't be satisfied unless that happens. That's the wrong perspective. But to be aware that such a possibility may occur at some point, and already getting one, like already just randomly one, it felt so random. I didn't work on that show very often. Well, at the beginning I didn't, and that episode was like, it was the holiday season. They were wanting to put out a good show that people would want to watch, and it was I'm not going to tell you what the event was, but it was a thematic show. The whole show covered the loss of a celebrity, some important person that people loved had passed away. And anyway, and I got recognized, and it's like I feel like the fact that it was meant to be, because it happened. It's this moment you become aware of. You are being, especially the getting it after I was moving in a different direction, like the validation. It's like, you have made good choices. You have demonstrated an aptitude, an ability to tell stories. And so it's like, now take that talent, do not bury it, go multiply it, go take. So the trophy itself isn't the talent, it's the recognition that got you the trophy. It's the artistry, and it's always about collaboration. But the type of work I did, you were directly seeing my vision. A lot of people have input in a project. I'm getting kind of esoteric. Let's reel it back in. It's because we have the ability to order our thoughts and communicate what we believe is truth. Every word that's coming out of your mouth, how much do you believe it? How much of that would you assert is true? Why would you say it otherwise? Why would you say the things that you're saying if you didn't believe them to be true? So there is an innate a priori knowledge. I think those are the right words. I'm just pulling them out of a hat. If I've misused these words, somebody fact check me. But like a priori knowledge, an innate understanding that truth is what you're experiencing every moment. You cannot deny your existence, your present moment, your cognizance of an environment around you and of other possible entities like you. And you have an innate ability to communicate with them, but your knowledge, the things that you know, are limited. Like, you have such a limited ability to comprehend what's going on. Well, I shouldn't say limited ability. You've had a limited resource called time, right, that has allowed you to learn certain things, mostly experientially, but some instructionally and insightfully learning. And your worldview, your knowledge and understanding of everything that goes on around you. But we are all hindered by our limitations. If you haven't traveled a lot, if you don't speak more than one language, or there's multiple languages and cultures and things going on in the world and history, that's why history is, I think, an important, neglected resource that could be beneficial to the human race. If you do not figure out what really happened in history, because there's these, I guess it's postmodernism or deconstructionists that say meaning there's no truth and you can't possibly discern what's really going on. Well, that is not. If you can track down the highest likelihood, you're dealing in likelihood, your percentages of probability. Well, that is possible with technology now. Like, now we have digital time stamping of every communication, every transaction. There are time, digital timestamps generated that will never change. So it could ultimately be traced. All ownership of intellectual property, etc., can be traceable in this technological age. So you can irrefutably own something if you know how to document it properly. I hope this is making sense. I'm vamping here a bit, but if I'm covering any topics that kept your interest this far into an episode, please email me. I do want to engage, to know if I'm triggering anything with anyone, and we can go on this journey together. Just, I have a feeling that this could be part of a binge session, somebody's binge session. I don't know. It's like, listen to this guy, listen to the things he's saying and what he's doing. At some point, like, wait, how much content? Is that possible to go through all that? Well, if somebody finds this signal I'm putting out in the present moment. Well, within a week, really never more than 2 weeks. Record it, and you hear it the next week. Oh no, okay, I'm getting lost. Just email me. I did go on a weird tangent there. You will not understand what I was just talking about because I got sidetracked. I was getting confused with something else. I'm not going to edit that out. I'm just going to let it all go. Now I'm reeling back in. So, what could I say about how I felt, how it made me feel when I won that award when it arrived? Like, oh. And that the people that, well, the one person I care about the most was happy about it. I mean, for her to be like, oh, that's nice, you should put that right there. That made it all like, oh, nice. She wants it front and center in our life, that trophy. And then one of my kids won a larger trophy. Okay, the trophy was larger, and I put it at the other end of the mantle. It was the whole team. They rotated it around the players. It stays in the gym wherever they train, because that's where all the trophies go. But everybody gets to take it for a week, and it was next to my trophy, and it was taller, and it's the god on the top of that statue was aiming down like a fireball, and mine had a big ball like a shield. It looked like they were battling each other, like the two gods on top of these trophies battling it out. Because that's what I don't know, that's what they put on trophies. Like it's a body, a human body, like a deity flying through space with a bolt of lightning about to blast out of their hand or something. You know, what are these idols? These idols that we have, literal idols that people covet and brag about. It's like, oh, see what I did? Yeah, see, everybody likes me, everybody likes what I do, and the power, I guess, the power trips that go on in their heads, thinking that they caused it all to happen. It's like, yeah, you're an artist and you're good at something, and you just happen to fall into a team that was doing something good, and you played a good role, but you didn't cause it all to happen. Your life just unfolded that way. So the sense of pride or credit, that's the thing that I'm completely absent of, because all this stuff is just kind of unfolding before me. I'm making decisions. Yeah, I'm involved in the process, and I'm happy to be, but it's a lot to, it's like, I just want to do what's right, what's good, and if I'm awarded for anything, it's all bonus, and I'm grateful, and I just want to be able to share. I want to share the that kind of like glory. I want other people to have that experience or to benefit in everything and what they're doing. Boy, I am really just projecting forward the hopes that I have right now. I'm being very forward looking and grateful for everything that I get to work on right now. I mean, it's a struggle, and there's sacrifices to make, but I have this sense of what a privilege it is that I get to be the person doing this thing right now, because the subject matter is so, like, everything that's going on in the world right now, each day, the news, something will happen and it will point straight to the goodness or the direction of the project I'm working on. It's like, whoa, I can see how this would help people understand the world we live in a positive, constructive way. It's like, oh, this is what's going on. This makes sense. Boy, I don't know if I'm making sense to anybody right now, but sense of validation, life lesson.